Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well. As things do get good in California, you also get the bad in California. And we also have to understand that California is still a very far left state that seems to, advocate for violence. Well, for the most part, they advocate for Antifa showing up and harassing and causing damage to other people. Now, here's the thing. I think these little babies, these children, wouldn't have what would be great in fear if people showed up with a gun, pop a cap in their ass, and maybe they wouldn't be doing this very often. You know why? Because they're bitches. They're little babies that are in a gang, and they need a gang to make themselves feel powerful. Look how scrawny and pathetic that they are if they need to be in a group. Now, it's just sad. And what's going on here is that UC Davis chancellor falsely claimed TPUSA's Charlie Kirk advocated for violence against transgender individuals. The Antifa mob attacked campus during speaking event. In response to Turning Point USA live free tour stop at UC Davis on Tuesday evening, University of California Chancellor Gary May issued a video to students in which he claimed that Turning Point USA founder and president Charlie Kirk has advocated for violence against transgender individuals. Kirk has never done so. Many of you have reached out to me and others regarding tonight's event organized by the registered or student organization Turning Point USA or TPUSA at UC Davis. A video from May began. After May's video repeating the false claims that Kirk was calling for lynching after Antifa went to the UC Davis to protest TPS USA, bringing violence or vandalism on Tuesday evening. Riot police took down Antifa surrounding the UC Davis Charlie Kirk event, sponsored by TP USA. Antifa members were spotted smashing windows and doors on campus and vandalizing the campus. The militants was also blocked students and members of the public from entering the university to attend the event. So, what we're going to do here, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of show you what's going on here. What the Antifa mob has been doing and what the UC Davis people are, actively protecting. Because, of course, these far leftist principles and what have you have to misrepresent what the people of anybody that does on the right does. You can just be a well-adjusted democratic citizen, and if you're against, trying to transgender children or surgeries, or maybe you just think not wanting to have abortion at all, which would be when you're a Democrat, well, guess what? You are now part of the far right, and you are deemed inadequate. So, that's kind of how their philosophy and their way of thinking works. Here's a few of these clips here that is showing, the very tolerant and non-violent Antifa.
Regarding tonight's event, organized by the registered student organization Turning Point USA, or TPUSA, at UC Davis. Thank you for sharing your distress at a student group hosting a speaker who is a well-documented proponent of misinformation and hate, and who has advocated for violence against transgender individuals. Under UC policy, campuses may not prohibit student organizations such as TPUSA from inviting these speakers, even if the speaker's intended speech is loathsome and hurtful to me and to others in our campus community. With respect to concerns related to violence, UC policy permits denial of requests if the speaker will present a clear and present danger to the campus. Our council also notes that there is a similarly heavy burden for criminal prosecution for incitement of violence. Please be assured that we are monitoring the event closely to determine if a threat or incitement develops that meets that threshold. We can't control how these groups operate, but we can work together to neutralize and negate their influence. So having to speak to an empty room would make a powerful statement.
Nope.
Yes, it seems that Antifa is very tolerant and polite. They're not smashing windows, possibly causing fear, or nothing of that sort. They're just all very nice people that seem to do all they have to do whenever they show up is get more violent or have to demonstrate authority by violence. Yeah, they're great people. May's video offered the false claims that were repeated and believed by the activists who took their violence to campus. Thank you for sharing your distress at a student group hosting a speak who is well documented proponent of misinformation and hate and who has advocated for violence against transgender individuals, May said in the video ahead of the mayhem. May said that under the University of California policy, campuses may not prohibit student organizations such as TPUSA from inviting these speakers, even if the speaker's intended speech is loathsome and hurtful to me and to the others in our campus community. With respect to concerns related to violence, UC policy permits denial of request if the speaker will present a clear and present danger to the campus. Our council also notes that there is similarly heavy burden for criminal prosecution for incitement of violence. Yeah, which you did, by the way. May, you did this. You went out and said that what someone is going to go do, which he was going to do in the first place, and you caused the hate, you caused the mob to come here. Yes, you are part of the problem. You incited the violence. You should be arrested. A petition which has garnered 546 signatures was started to pressure May into canceling the UC Davis tour stop. In a suggested draft letter for students to send to May, it claims that Kirk recently stated on a podcast that trans people sick should be taken care of, the way we used to in the 1950s and 60s. The letter's claim came from a February episode of the Charlie Cook Show in which Kirk spoke with former University of Kentucky swimmer Riley Gaines, who has been outspoken in his experience of swimming against biological male University of Pennsylvania swimmer Leah Thomas. Gaines told Kirk about female NCAA athletes not being told that they would be sharing a changing space with someone who was fully intact with male genitalia, and recalled herself and others feeling extremely uncomfortable and traumatized. I mean, these people are sick, Kirk later responded. I don't say that lightly. The NCAA is a perverted organization. They platformed a biological male who won a national championship and then was allowed, in incredibly disturbing detail, to be around you and your fellow competitors. And again, I blame the decline of American men. This should never have been, someone should have just taken care of it the way they used to. They take care of things in the 1950s or 60s. Look, there are a lot of sick people in the world. Unfortunately, and without the strength to go against them, the country is going to completely, totally fall apart, he said. I agree. Without strong men, without men that are masculine or whatever, which, by the way, the media and all the far-left feminists want to do is emasculate men, is to make sure that the place goes into chaos. And we're having this. We're having children now go out and protest and try to harm people. This is what's going on now. This is what the thing with this woman is that if you get men into their feelings, that means their rage and their testosterone is left unchecked. And if it goes unchecked, you get this. So I don't know if you really want that to happen, but I mean, I digress. You're the ones that are saying let men be in their feelings, right? Later in the episode, Kirk read out emails for viewers on one which read, "Charlie, I agree without if it was my daughter, I would have been arrested for certain. The fix is very simple. If all the female swimmers boycotted the swim meets, they have no choice but to listen." Look, so this is obviously going over some of the things that is going on here. Charlie Kirk has gone on to say that this is defamation and libel. We will sue unless it is corrected. Left-wing rags like Sac B are allowed to platform lies against conservatives and get away with it. Time for lawfare. Yeah, I agree. These people need to be held accountable, 100%. Sac B has pulled down the original column and removed references to fascism and lynching, and included a notation of changes. Despite this, Sac B reporter Sac B Night Cops is still parroting this lie. If anyone gets hurt tonight, Sac B played a prominent role. This is defamation and libel. We will sue unless it is corrected. Left wing. Okay, so that pretty much it. Later, the reporter deleted the tweet. I deleted a previous tweet because the language I used was not precise. Apologize for the error. Yeah, because again, here's the thing. I understand that due to some of the things that we've seen here is not good, but the fact of the matter is, we have to push back. When we have a spine, when we have a backbone, when we actually use our force to actually make these vile people accountable, they'll have to push back. They can't afford a lawsuit, and they'll lose. They know they will. So we gotta push back. So this is the type of stuff that's going on. No fascists in Davis. This is going on here, and what have you. And it's insanity. All right, this is complete insanity, and the fact that it's going to keep on going is insane. Now, here's one clip here to where a man specifically was being chased, or rather having to be rambunctious to take out some of these Antifa members because, well, they're not looking very non-hostile. Take a look.
Fuck you! Fuck you, bitch! Hey, what the fuck? Hey, fuck you! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Hey, get the fuck out, you asshat! We'll fuck you up! Hey, fuck you! I like a pussy! You forgot right day, Hey, don't engage them! You look so dumb.
Yeah, so it's not exactly the greatest thing. So yeah, we have Charlie Kirk on this specific reporting here, talking about this, and as well as going over what he said here. I don't know if you saw, but they broke some windows. The terrorists died outside. People had things thrown at them. We're not going to put up with the force of trying to shut down people you don't like. Tonight is a statement. Now, obviously, for the last two videos before I end all of this, this is what's going on. You've seen that these people are doing nefarious stuff. Now, the reason why this guy is probably acting like this in part of the way is that for Savannah Hernandez says, UC Davis, a group of Antifa have come to protest Charlie Kirk's speech tonight. They blocked the bike lane and are trying to stop attendees from entering or exiting. That's the reason why that guy was kind of raging out a little bit. But obviously they're being aggressive as well. You notice that they're trying to chase him. And then, as well. But also, by the way, I'm not trying to justify this guy's actions. Obviously, you should always try to remain civil in discourse. But you start doing this stuff, you're going to get people like this. I mean, it's that simple. And you have obviously you have this here from what Elon Musk. Not a people protest at all. Elon Musk condemns Antifa goons who smashed windows and brawled at UC Davis after conservative star Charlie Kirk was invited to speak on campus. Yeah, so of course from Elon Musk, not a peaceful protest at all. That's what he stated, and what have you. So what I'm going to do is post the last few of these clips here of what the Sacramento B has done and what have you, and I think we already know what Sacramento has really done with the B in general, but it shows on what's really going on in this country and honestly how we need to be able to push back in our own way. These two videos kind of explain that. Take a look.
But one paragraph in particular. She says this: Kirk has called for the lynching of trans people. A comment, this is in the Sacramento Bee, a comment that is beneath contempt. That is a lie. I have never done that. I have never thought that. There is zero evidence of that. In fact, it originated by some Twitter account, by some trans activist that saw a segment of mine where I said, quote, in the 50s or 60s, we would not have put up with men going into female locker rooms. That was the quote. And by the way, it's totally true because the district attorney would have arrested men going into female locker rooms for being a pervert. And I said that. She says Charlie Kirk is calling for the lynching of trans people. I've never said it. I've never alluded to it. In fact, I've always been clear about peaceful activism. But instead, the Sacramento Bee writes this. The Sacramento Bee publishes this. And if they could do it to me, they're going to do it to all of you. They're going to do this to every single good, God-loving patriot in this country to try to smear you and slander you. Frankly, as a UCD alum, I have little confidence in the ability of UCD to keep the peace. Is that a threat? Apparently it is. So they lie about me, and then they're surprised, like, oh, I don't know why there's all this violence happening everywhere. It's just people can't control themselves. How about you stop lying about the speaker that's coming on your college campus, Sacramento B? How about you stop smearing people just because you disagree? That they broke some windows, the terrorists did, outside to try to come in. People had things thrown at them. The whole place was spray painted, not just throughout the week, but also tonight. And the fact that this event is allowed to go on is a testament to the terrorists that we are not going to put up with force of trying to shut down people you don't like, and instead we are going to have a free society based on speech, based on dialogue, based on discourse, and tonight is a statement to them that they're the losers and that speech wins in America. That is what tonight is all about.
So yeah, there you have it. It's great speech from Kirk, and shows what the Sacramento Bee really is. This is the reason why you don't trust these stupid articles and stuff like that. It's just all terrible. And like I said, Sacramento Bee and these people advocated for the violence, and they had to be held responsible. So yeah, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.